let's talk about 5 series I'm really excited for in the next couple of months. Welcome back to Comics Are Dope. I'm BJ Kicks, and this is another episode of Top 5. This is my series where I make a top 5 list video about something comic related. Now, 6 months ago, just about, I counted down some of the series that I was most excited for going into 2024, all the new stuff that we knew was going to happen. And then I told you that I would check in sometime around Free Comic Book Day to tell you how I was feeling and what I was most excited for about the rest of the year. And right now, we are sort of knee deep in all the things that were teased this Free Comic Book Day. And so this video, I'm going to take a few minutes to talk about some of the books that I am most excited about for the rest of the summer 2024. So the rest of July into August, and this will come out just in time for all the teases to come from San Diego Comic-Con, and then we can talk about all the stuff that we're excited about in September and beyond. But this is a top 5 list. I did try to narrow it down to 5 things, just 5 things I was excited for, and I was not successful. So let's go ahead and jump into some honorable mentions. First honorable mention that we're going to bring up is the Powerpuff Girls. Powerpuff Girls #1 is out from Dynamite Entertainment. It's actually coming out later this month. It's coming out July 17th. It's written by Kelly Thompson with art by Paulina Ganuso. I hope I said that right. Now, what's funny is before this series was announced, I thought I was in a very, very large minority of men who appreciated the Powerpuff Girls as a kid. Like, I absolutely watched Powerpuff Girls, and maybe I wasn't as into it as I was, say, Dexter's Lab, but I very much enjoyed Powerpuff Girls, especially when Mojo Jojo would make an appearance. And so it was funny, when this series was announced by Dynamite, I saw so many like other comic bros like, oh man, the Powerpuff Girls. And I was like, huh, that's crazy. Were we all just secretly loving the Powerpuff Girls the whole time? So I'm excited about this. Kelly Thompson, who you may know from her run on Black Widow. She's also writing Scarlet right now in the Energon universe. All sorts of stuff. She got nominated for like 15,000 Eisners this year. So chances are you've read Kelly Thompson and you've enjoyed Kelly Thompson. And I expect that this is just going to be a fun series, to read for as long as it's a thing. So shout out to Dynamite and the Powerpuff Girls, issue #1 out this week. Another honorable mention, and this is really an honorable mention because it's a whole line of titles. So the next up is the X-Men From the Ashes line of comics. Now, we already sort of got this just this week. X-Men #1 by Jed McKay and Ryan Stegman did come out, and I enjoyed it well enough. Like, it definitely doesn't hit like the heights of the Krakoa era or like House of X, Powers of 10 and stuff like that. But I don't think this new era of X-Men has to do that. I don't think this new era of X-Men has to be some super cohesive, line-wide statement. I just think they've got to make fun books. And X-Men #1 was, at the very least, a fun book. Something about the character designs is still kind of wonky to me. I love the suits. It kind of reminds me of Morrison's new X-Men and the 2000s X-Men movies. But I don't know, just specific choices with characters, like Beast has raccoon eyes and Cyclops just looks way too young to be in the position that he is in, especially since this is not a reboot. It's not a reset. All the Krakoa stuff still happened, and we're just kind of moving on in the aftermath of Krakoa. But anyway, not to be too critical, I enjoyed X-Men #1, but I'm more excited for Gail Simone on Uncanny X-Men, just because I'm more excited about that team. Eve Ewing is doing Exceptional X-Men to round out the core X-Men titles, and then we're getting a bunch of ancillary titles. Ancillary? I've heard it both ways, but we're getting a bunch of other titles. The one that I'm really looking out for, too, of the ancillary titles I'm looking out for are Storm, which is a mini series, if I'm not mistaken. But I'm excited for the Storm series, especially since she's kind of getting a level up lately. She's going to be on the Avengers, so that's going to be fun. The Storm series is written by Murewa Ayodele. Hopefully I said that right. With art by Lucas Wernick, who I enjoy on art, and colors by, is that Mateus Mahanini? That is a cover by Mateus Mahanini. Anyway, really excited about this Storm book. Another book that I'm excited about is X-Force, which will be written by a friend of the channel, Jeffrey Thorne, with art by Marcus Toe, if I'm not mistaken. So those I'm expecting to be good. I'm expecting to be action-packed, expecting to be fun. What I'm not excited about is the fact that they are spinning the X line out into like 9 titles to start, and they're already announcing more miniseries and more miniseries. And you're just gonna have to pick your spots. There's no way you're getting me 9 titles in like I was with the Krakoa era. So we'll see how these first few issues go of the respective series. But I am excited about the whole From the Ashes movement. So that's the next honorable mention. And now let's get into the true top 5 series debuts that I'm excited about for the next couple of months. At number 5, these are kind of in no particular order, but they kind of are in order. At number 5 is Li Poe. This is going to be written and drawn by Marcus Williams, and it's coming to you from Massive Publishing. Now, Li Poe, I got to read the Free Comic Book Day issue. Well, I guess we all got to read the Free Comic Book Day issue, and I got to talk about it with Marcus Williams himself. And basically, this is a book that started off as like fan art and then ended up being like a digital comic with like some physical stuff. Like you can see like one issue came out like a one shot. Now it's being expanded into a mini series. And honestly, the best descriptor of this very much is it's Dragon Ball meets Popeye. Like it's Popeye, but with the manga and anime influences that, I don't know, only a Cartoon Network Toonami kid could truly love and appreciate. Like if you grew up watching, like I did, all those Hanna-Barbera and Max Fleischer Studios reruns and stuff, and you saw Popeye as a kid, and you suddenly had your life changed when Dragon Ball Z came to the States, you're going to feel the same way reading this comic. It's really good. It's really action-packed. I really enjoyed the Free Comic Book Day preview, and I'm excited to get all, I believe it's 4 issues coming from Marcus Williams and the folks at Massive Publishing. Li Poe is out. Let's see what's the release date on that. Issue 1 is out August 14th. So be on the lookout. At number 4 is Flash Gordon. Flash Gordon issue number 1. Flash Gordon from Mad Cave Studios will be written by Jeremy Adams with art by Will Conrad. And that actually debuts on July 24th. I don't really have a reason to be excited about Flash Gordon, except that he just looks like a cool character. When I read the Free Comic Book Day issue, though, I was like, okay, I am all in on this. Flash Gordon is like your, quintessential sci-fi action adventure hero. And the way the Free Comic Book Day issue goes, like you see a sort of adventure, you see him like being him. But then there's an event that takes place that he's going to have to live in the consequences of. And the way it sets up what's going to be the ongoing series was just chef's kiss. Now, Jeremy Adams is a writer that I don't think is capable of writing a bad book. I loved his Flash run. I don't like Hal Jordan, and I'm loving his Green Lantern run. And now we've got Flash Gordon, and hey, I fully expect that I'm going to love this one as well. And by the way, Will Conrad on this art, that 0 issue, listen, it's going to look great. It's going to be great. I'm excited. Shout out to Mad Cave Studios for just consistently putting out quality products. Flash Gordon number 1 in stores July 24th. The next series debut I'm excited about at the number 3 spot. is Jonathan Hickman and Greg Capullo's Wolverine Revenge. Wolverine Revenge is a miniseries that's coming out from Marvel, kind of on the back of this whole From the Ashes initiative. Now, there was a page that went out that Greg Capullo tweeted out, and for a while, a lot of us thought he was going to be writing the proper Wolverine series. He is not. They're doing this Wolverine story, and I think Wolverine's like in the Savage Land, or at the very least, he's got a dinosaur on this cover. So it seems like he's in the Savage Land to start this series, but it's going to be brutal. It's going to be bloody. And it's going to be Greg Capullo drawing Wolverine. Honestly, I don't care who was writing it. I was going to pick up the book. The fact that it's Hickman returning to an X-Men title makes it even more exciting. And so I don't know if there's going to be in continuity, out of continuity, if it's going to reference any Krakoa aftermath. I think it'd be safer to bet that it would not. But either way, that book is going to be a treat to look at. And shout out to Tim Townsend on the inks, taking over after a long time, inker Jonathan Glapian. So there we go. Wolverine Revenge is the miniseries that I'm most excited about coming out of this era. Now, let's talk about the number 2 spot. At number 2 on my list of titles I'm most excited about in the next few weeks is Jonny Quest, issue number 1. Jonny Quest, the series debut from Dynamite Entertainment, written by by Joe Casey, with art by Sebastian Perez. Now, again, with the irrational love of just classic characters, right? I remember watching those Hanna-Barbera reruns all through my childhood. In fact, they just launched MeTV Tunes, and I bought a whole subscription service just so I could keep watching classic cartoons with commercials like it was 1998 again, for whatever reason. Jonny Quest was one of my favorites for a couple of reasons that, now that I'm an adult, don't make sense. The first, that I will admit only to you guys on YouTube. Just keep it between me and you, okay? The first reason I really enjoyed Jonny Quest when I was a kid is because I thought Haji was black, accent and all. I don't know. He was brown and I was brown, and I was like, oh snap, that kid looks like me. And that had me glued to the TV to watch these adventures. Other reasons I like Jonny Quest really is just the action. I'll give you another secret confession. I always felt like Race Bannon should have been Jonny Quest's dad. Dr. Quest seemed boring to me. Why wasn't Race Bannon Jonny Quest's dad? Let me know. Anyway, really excited about Jonny Quest. Much like Flash Gordon, Jonny Quest got a free comic book day preview. And the situation basically is that Jonny Quest, Bandit, Haji, Dr. Quest, Race Bannon, they all just got transported from the 1960s into 2024. So we're going to see this, these action adventure heroes very much out of their element in a world that has very much changed around them. This is no longer your mom and dad's Jonny Quest. And it's not Jonny Quest's world either. So the adjustment is what I'm really excited to see. I've never read a comic by Joe Casey, but he's done a lot. Superman, Ben 10, all the things. Very excited about Jonny Quest number 1. The series is going to make its debut on August 14th, 2024. Check it out. And now we have made it to the number 1 spot, and this is absolutely the number 1 series that I'm excited about debuting, at least probably for all of 2024, but at least for this back half. And that's Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, issue number 1. TMNT number 1 is out on July 24th, and it's written by Jason Aaron. And for the first 4 issues, there's going to be a different artist, and these first 4 issues will each focus on a different turtle. So issue 1, I did get to read early, and it is not going to disappoint. Issue 1 is written by Jason Aaron with art by Joel Jones, and it focuses on Raphael. And basically what we're getting over these first 4 issues is a quick update as to where each of the turtles is after the events of issue 150. What are the events of issue 150? I don't know. I never even read it. It doesn't matter because they're going to tell us all we need to know in this book. But Since the events of issue 150, the brothers are scattered, and there are new threats emerging that are going to cause them to have to come together. So in issue 1, we see Raphael, we see where he is, and we see that he's going to kind of get launched into a mission to get his brothers back. We did also get a free comic book day preview showing Donatello, who seemed to be in a very similar situation to Raphael, just in a different part of the world. So I'm really excited. What I loved about issue 1 was and is the voice for Raphael. Raphael gets an internal monologue, and it is spot on. It's everything you know about the Turtles in a way that IDW has always done. Like, they've always encapsulated everything you know about the Turtles and made it feel fresh. This feels fresher. Feels like the stakes are high. It doesn't feel like the Turtles are teenagers like they did in Mutant Mayhem. But man, if they are not like just dope action stars, at least through one issue. I'm excited to see the next 4 as they bring the team back together. And I'm excited to finally get to read a TMNT comic where it feels like I'm on the ground floor. Fun fact, I own every issue of IDW's Ninja Turtles in 2 formats. So my collection of single issues starts at issue 101. And then I went back and got all the hardcovers so that I could read the rest of the stuff. Out of 150 issues of Ninja Turtles, I've read maybe 25 to 30 of them, because all the stuff from issue 101 to 150, a lot of times I felt like it lacked action, or there was stuff being paid off from earlier issues that I felt like I needed greater context for. So I really want to read the series from 1 to 150. Not in one sitting, but as one thing. But I'm excited that I don't have to do all of that to understand what's happening now. TMNT issue number 1, a great jumping in point. I'm excited to see what the rest of it's like. And that's making its debut, like I said, on July 24th. You should have no problems finding that issue, by the way. Pre-orders topped 300,000 copies. So chances are your shop's got a copy available. Lots of covers, lots of options. I'm going with the Kari Randolph cover for issue 1, but you honestly can't go wrong. Series debuts, TMNT tops my list of most anticipated ones. And that's it. Those are the books I'm most excited about coming out in July and August, specifically series debuts. Now, we are in the middle of Absolute Power. We're in the middle of Blood Hunt. And we've yet to know like what the ramifications of those events are going to be and what things are going to we're going to launch into in September forward. So I have to come back and update you, maybe something absolute that we'll talk about, but let's not talk about it now. That's going to do it for me. Let me know what you're excited about among the books I talked about or the books I didn't. What are you excited to get your hands on in these next 6 weeks or so? Let me know. I'll see you guys in another video real soon. Till then, stay safe, stay awesome, and read something dope today. Peace.